finally got my raised bed put together. I made this from a bunch of coco coir from a commercial grow after they harvested their marijuana plants. They throw all of the dirt away, and instead of doing whatever they were going to do with it, I loaded my back of my truck full of the pots and just took it home. And what I use for raised beds when I don't have much money is this I forget what they call it. It's some kind of anti-erosion cloth. You see it at construction sites where they've cleared the land and these stakes are stapled to the cloth. I've got this cloth cut off of the stakes and I got it doubled over because it's usually twice this high. It's probably about 12 inches tall. But all that grow media was free. It's about, I estimate it to be about 4 foot wide and about a foot deep, and I'm not exactly sure how long it is. But free media. The cloth was really cheap. I've already made several big round outdoor grow areas with it. Little round raised beds, I guess you'd call them. But after I got everything all chopped up, smoothed out, I went through and put a bunch of the nasty rabbit refuse tea that I had. I had a bunch of rabbit droppings and urine from my rabbit cages. I got it to where you put a bucket under one spot and everything kind of falls into the buckets. Then I take the buckets out and I'll put it in a larger bucket. And it happened to be out in the rain and it got wet, so I took some of the water and watered some of my plants with it, and it did really well. So I just went ahead and dumped the whole giant bucket in this bed. And then I took some mushroom compost and a little bit of cow manure compost and put in there. And then I dressed it up with general purpose organic dry fertilizer, some feather meal 1200, and some azomite. The azomite is all your vitamins and minerals A to Z. I know that it works really well on marijuana. Marijuana indoors is very prone to vitamin and mineral deficiencies, and if you use this stuff, you will not have to supplement vitamins and minerals, iron, calcium, magnesium, stuff like that. So, but that is an easy, extremely cheap raised bed. But really cheap. Hope it helps. Oh, and these are sweet potatoes. I've got them in other containers. I tried this used coco coir in smaller containers last year. Just dressed up the dirt, or made it into dirt. It was originally grow media. So, but it worked fairly well last year in this thing. These have been in here for a little bit. Then I've got this thing. and this thing. I used all three of those last year. This one has got some dirt, some regular dirt, you know, out of the ground, and some mushroom compost, and a lot of the Coco Core grow media. Because I work all the time, I have a hard time getting out here to my grow space. I try not to weed too much. If it gets overgrown, I'll pick some, but I leave a little bit in there to keep the dirt in place. A lot of these plants have only been in here for about a week. These tomato plants I got from the store, they were running out of food in the little pots, and they were dying and starting to fruit like crazy. So I went ahead and got them and put them in these pots that I had left over from the commercial grow. But they have really taken off since I put them in there about 3 weeks ago, I guess. They're not real fast growers. And I just today put some fertilizer in these pots. These pots were probably devoid of any kind of nutrients because they'd sat out in the rain for a couple years. But we'll see what they do now. And yeah, it's ugly, but it works really well. All of this stuff here keeps the dirt in place, gives the spiders something to hide in, to get the bugs. This stuff works really well too. Some really cheap ways to grow stuff. Just gotta search. So anyway, hope this idea gives somebody some help. Thanks. Appreciate you watching. MacGyver Prepping out.